I always look at the downside before the upside. I think you're going to poison me.
This year is a bad idea.
You have to stop. Please listen. I feel like I put everything into that show. I never felt like I just showed up.
It is a very unique experience. There's a lot of tension in there, and it's real.
Giving them advice, excuse me.
You gotta want to work and want to build this business. I just want to tell him, if you don't mind, I'd like to hear.
Don't call me sweetie. You're filming for a long time, so things are starting to get under your skin.
It was actually more intense than I had even imagined.
Uncomfortable for sure, but real.
Well, Dragon's Den will be wrapping up its 10th season in a few weeks, and season 11, it's right around the corner. So they're looking for pitches. The crew from the Den are hearing pitches today in Abbotsford and tomorrow in Vancouver. You can think of them as auditions for the show, essentially. But here's what we thought we'd do. We thought we'd pull back the curtain a little bit and see what it's really like to enter the Den from an entrepreneur's point of view, but also what happens after the show from a dragon's point of view. So we're going to talk to Manjit Minhas in just a moment. She's a dragon on the show. But first, we're going to talk to Lisa von Sturmer, who made a very, very successful pitch and ended up walking away with a deal.
I can't. I have to partner with you. I'm going to offer you exactly what you came in here looking for.
That's
I love
awesome.
the idea.
Let's not forget she called you Snow White, right?
No, I said my point was she is beautiful, but that's not what makes the idea worth investing.
I think the idea is beautiful
idea
too.
That's great, and I would just want to partner with you. I think
Thank
this
you.
is a really smart idea.
Let me just throw in there that the market in Vancouver, right now they're doing 270,000 metric tons. By 2015, they're going to have to do 540. That's almost $200 million a year in Vancouver.
Do you want to take the offer? Because I gave you exactly what you wanted.
I
So
do.
you want to take it?
Are there any other offers on the table?
Oh, wait, I gave you exactly what you asked for.
Hey, come on, wait, there's 5 of us here.
Unless
Remember
we
that?
make the same
Lisa,
offer,
I'm thinking
right?
of offering you more money.
Oh boy. Lisa von Sturmer, CEO of Growing City, joining us right now.
Hi.
You're watching that clip. This is the first time in a long time you've seen that.
I feel a little pink, actually.
What was going through your head? The dragons are essentially fighting over you.
It was shocking to me because it almost felt like unreal. I kind of forgot for a second that I was actually on the show and that I was watching the show, so it took me a second to kind of kick into that it was my pitch.
Now, auditions, they're going on, right? Right across the country today in Abbotsford.
Yes.
I mean, you've been through this whole process. So how long is it, first of all, from the moment you kind of get in there and you audition all the way through to the actual taping?
It's very fast, actually.
Oh, is it?
So you go in for the audition, and then there's about a 2, potentially 3-week waiting period while they're going through all the people that have applied across Canada. And then from there, you get between 2 and 3 weeks to go to Toronto to film. So once you hear back that you're getting a yes, you've got between 2 and 3 weeks to get show ready, which sounds maybe like a lot, but it's not much time at all.
It doesn't sound like a lot to me at all. That seems like a very short amount of time. And then,
Yeah.
so you fly to Toronto for the taping,
Yeah.
and they cram a lot of pitches all in at once, right?
It's back to back to back to back.
So many pitches in a given day, and so you as a pitcher, are you you're all herded into one room, and you're just kind of
yes.
waiting to go, or
You're all backstage waiting in one big room together, which is a really interesting experience because people are nervous.
Yeah.
So some people, when they're nervous, they're singing and dancing because they're excited, and then other people are kind of rocking.
huddled over and trying to hold back their lunch.
Yeah, trying to keep it down. So it's definitely an interesting experience. I tried to just get real zen.
And then I guess at some point a producer says, "Okay, Lisa von Sturmer, you're up next,"
Yes.
and they give you a count, and then you walk out.
Pretty much, yeah. They bring you into the holding area, which is backstage, and then you have to go, and you're actually standing at the top of that stairwell, waiting for the person ahead of you to finish.
That famous stairwell where you see the silhouette, right,
Exactly.
of the pitcher, and you're waiting there.
You're waiting there.
And you can hear the person before you.
You can hear them, and you can hear the dragons as well. So I wasn't expecting that, and the person that went ahead of me did not get a deal.
As happens on that show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, the dragons were being really supportive and great to that person, but it did make my knees shake a little bit while I was waiting for my turn.
Did you think about bolting at that point?
I definitely did. If there had been a second door where it was this way to the dragons, this way back home, I can't tell you which one I would have picked.
You might have taken the exit door.
I maybe have gone home.
How did you prepare for that kind of an experience?
Definitely you have to really start by knowing your business inside and out. So the thing is, when you're filming, you film for sometimes half an hour, sometimes an hour in front of the dragons when you're doing your pitch. They cut a lot of it out. So you really do get asked a lot of questions on your valuation and on the numbers of your business and your market.
Now, do the show producers help you at all in terms of the preparation for that kind of big moment, or is it really just, hey, we're feeding you to the dragons, you deal with it?
Well, there's a lot of different producers there, so some of them will work really closely with you on crafting your pitch.
Okay, they do help you with that.
There is some help, but you have to come up with the idea yourself. So the focus really is to how to sell your business in a visual way. So you can't have graphs, you can't have charts, you can't have numbers. You have to think of a really compelling visual experience for people at home to connect to your business.
Right, okay, so you go through that whole experience, which for some people is a nightmare, other people it's a dream come true.
Yeah.
For you, it was a dream come true,
For me, it was
because
a big dream come true.
you got buy-in right out of the gate. I am curious to know, one last question for you. When the cameras turn off,
Yeah.
do you get to have sort of like candid conversations with the dragons?
Very short.
Okay, so not really much.
No, I was lucky. I got to go up. I shook everybody's hand because it was a great experience, and they were all really supportive. But you don't get any one-on-one time. And when you walk up those stairs, it really is the first time they've ever seen you or heard about your business. So it very much is a clean slate.
Right.
You get one take.
What? Okay, you don't get to say cut.
No,
Can we do that again?
Yeah, it is. It's live. So if you forget a line or you can't remember something, it's there.
Lisa, really nice to review
It's a
that.
real pleasure.
To share your experience. Now, stay with me here, because another treat for you, as I mentioned earlier, we do have a current dragon joining us right now, Manjit Minhas of Minhas Breweries and Distillery. Manjit, you just heard what Lisa had to say about her experience.
Yeah.
What did you think?
It was actually eye-opening for me, because we don't know what the pitchers go through before they get in front of us. Like she said, we don't know anything about the businesses, anything about the entrepreneurs, anything about the products or services they're offering. So when they walk down those stairs, that's the first time we've met them. So yeah, on average, they get an hour of grilling from us 5 dragons, and it's a lot of fun for us. It can be intense, though, absolutely. And it's one shot, so like she said, there is no reshooting.
Yeah, and so the fact that you don't know any of the pitches beforehand, I think that's really interesting. But the other thing, I mean, as you say, the pitches can be, an hour long. What we see on the show is a really, really condensed version of that then. What's the kind of stuff that gets cut out?
Well, yeah, on average an hour, and that's how long it takes to actually dive down into the details of any company to see what's their market, what's their financials, what's their plan. So it's edited down from an hour to about 5 to 7 minutes with really the fun stuff and the key things that the audience would need to know to decide if they would invest as an audience member and see, hopefully, our points of view as dragons.
Were there pitches for you as a dragon that just kind of slipped through your fingertips that after the show you kind of regretted not buying into?
Oh yes, absolutely, and that's what happens in the moment decision. I say after the end of the day, after 13 hours of shooting, when I would go back to my hotel, I would think, oh goodness, I should have got that one. That's the real world in the end of the day, and for one pitch, it did happen for me that I really wished I got it, and well, when the lights turned out, I did go behind the scenes and get it from Jim. So things can happen absolutely after, but for the most part, the show is what you see is what you get.
Yeah, but so talk to me about that, because I think a lot of people will have questions about what does happen after the actual TV show, because I mean there's nothing really stopping you from calling up someone who did pitch on the show who you didn't buy into, and also on the flip side, not all deals that get made on the show actually close, right?
Well, yes, absolutely. So after the cameras go out and we go home from Toronto from shooting the show, we start the due diligence process. And that means legal due diligence, financial due diligence, also looking more into the market. Like I said, because we know nothing about these industries, about these businesses, about those people before they come down those stairs. We are going by what's in front of us and really what's coming out of their mouths. And so we do need to verify that before we sign and hand over a check. And lots of times it doesn't close because of those things are not totally true, and or the pitchers get nervous or things change within a couple months. But for the most part, I am happy and delighted to say I'm told for the last 10 seasons I'm the dragon that has closed the most amount of deals, and I've been really happy with all of my deals.
How many deals
hard
have
in lots
actually
of new fun industries.
Give me a number. How many deals have closed?
24
24 deals, and that's not common.
No. Also, all of the deals, just because it's a deal does not make the show either. So we saw 200 pitches in a matter of 6 weeks while we're filming the show, and only about 75 make the show. So you don't see everything, and the ones that are deals are not the ones that necessarily always make the show either. So there's lots of great businesses that you never got to see, and vice versa. Lots of bad ones that you didn't get to see either.
But we won't name names.
No.
Dragon, Manjit, Minhas. Really good of you to join us.
Thank you.
Okay, do stay with us. A lot's more to come in the program, including the knife that has put O.J. Simpson back in the spotlight. Could it really be a critical piece of evidence? And what was a highly